Hello there and welcome back to BDCraft. On today's tutorial we're going to be showing you how to build this temple designed base in your survival or creative world. At the end of the video, as per usual, we'll be showing you in full shader pack and with the vanilla textures on, so you can see how this will look whatever your world design. So without any further ado, we'll get on with the build. So we're going to start today by looking at the block palette. For the base that we're going to be building on, then we're going to be using stone and stone stairs with some stone brick walls. Then we've got some red concrete and some white concrete. Then we've got some smooth quartz stairs and smooth quartz slabs. Now you can just substitute out the smooth quartz for white concrete in survival. It's probably a lot easier to do that. For the roof, we've got some prismarine bricks, some prismarine brick stairs, and some prismarine brick slabs. There's quite a lot of these that are used, so if you do have this in your survival base, it's probably worth raiding an ocean monument to actually get some of these, or building a guardian farm. In order to then accentuate that, we've got some red nether brick walls and red nether brick stairs, red nether brick slabs, and red nether brick walls. And then for decoration, we're going to be using jungle trapdoors and dark oak trapdoors, dark oak buttons, the good old favourite of the lamp, and then final lighting, some sea lanterns. These are going to be hidden, so again, use whichever lighting block that you like. The final thing that we're going to be adding at the end is some of the banner patterns that we covered in the last video. So if you want to do that, please check out the end screen and make sure that you watch that video on how to make these banners. So this base design does take quite a lot of space, so you'll need a space of 36 by 39 blocks in order to fit this inside. However, once we go through the build, I'll be showing how you can actually make this larger or smaller depending on your needs. So the first thing we're going to do is build the foundations for the structure. This is going to be a 2-high platform that I'm building. However, you can choose this to be as high or as low as you wish. And this is 29 by 39 from the very back of your area. And then in the center of that, we have a 9 wide by 6 deep additional bit with just a single block left at the front. To finish up the base of this build, we're going to knock out 3 blocks there and build 3 stairs up so that we can get on top of the platform, and then place a single block either side, and that allows us to get up on top. Then we're going to start placing all the way round from this very edge, and including on these 2 steps, our wall to surround the base itself. Now we've got the foundation, we can start putting in the sea lanterns. These will be covered later, but they give some good lighting so that it makes it mob proof around the walls. So we start with one block, coming 1 block in, and from the side and from the front, and then go 2 blocks back, and on the 3rd block we place a sea lantern, and then on the 3rd block again we place a sea lantern. Then we start to go around the side, and this way we're going to be following a pattern where we leave 4 blocks, and then on the 5th block each time we place a sea lantern. And then we're going to repeat that, and again it'll leave a 1 block walkway around the edge, and then from this corner we leave 4 blocks, and then the 5th block we leave a sea lantern, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block we leave a sea lantern. This time we're going to do something slightly different and leave 3 blocks, so we've got a 1 block center, and then place a sea lantern, then go again 4 blocks, sea lantern, and then 4 blocks, sea lantern. And we'll now fill in the rest of these. Now we've placed in the initial sea lanterns for where we're going to have the shape of the base, now we can start putting in where the walls are going to be. And what we're going to do is we're going to mirror the sea lanterns until we get to this edge, and then we're going to come in so there's still a block gap, and so I'll just leave 2 blocks in the corners, and then just again follow it round, mirroring where the sea lanterns are until you get to the corners again, and then you leave a 2 gap or where those sea lanterns are. Now that we've put in the basic structure and this is how big the base is going to be, we can start filling in some of the blocks that are going to start building up the structure. So the first thing we're going to do is on each of these sea lanterns we're going to come up to, and we're going to repeat that the whole way round, and then we're also going to come up to on all of these pillars with the red concrete blocks. Now that we've finished bringing all of those pillars in the build up to 3 high with the red concrete, we're going to switch to the white concrete and start actually filling in some of the walls. So this central one is going to be your entranceway, so that stays empty, and then we're going to bring 2 concrete into each of the gaps until we get to the corner, where again we bring 2 concrete all the way up there, and then in between we're going to place one of our quartz stairs. So we've got 2 quartz stairs on each side, and we're going to repeat that all the way round. The only difference being when we get to the central bits here, where you've got a 3 gap, you have a single quartz stair and then the 2 white concrete on either side. So when you've got those all added in, you'll see that you have 3 with 3 gap. Now if you did want to make it so your base had more than 1 entrance, you can actually knock out whichever ones of those seem appropriate, so you can knock them out and just have this as an extra entrance way, and then just repeat what we're going to do around the front for having it as an entrance. So it does give you the options to have more access to your base if you wish. So next we're going to fill in a line of red concrete blocks all the way on top of the walls that we've just created. Following that, we're going to add an additional block on each of the pillars before we fill all of the gaps in with white concrete. And lastly, we're going to go round and cover everything with one final layer of red concrete blocks. Now that we've built the main structure of the base, what we're going to do is finish off the pillars going around the edge, and we're going to do this by placing first of all a smooth quartz block. If you want to use the white concrete again here you can, it makes no difference at all. And between each of these pillars we're then going to use the upside down stairs to form an archway. So where we have the two gap, we're only going to need the 2 stairs, and make sure that they are upside down. And where we have a 3 or a 4 gap, then at the edges we're going to place the stairs, and then we're going to have a slab in between. So we go around and we'll continue to complete this for the rest of the base, and we'll come back and show you what it looks like once it's done. Now that we've completed linking up these columns, we're going to start adding the roof. And to do this we need to select the prismarine brick stairs, and we need to come across, and when we get to any corner we're going to be placing a red nether brick stair. And we're just going to do that going all the way around the build, and again come to a corner, place a red nether brick stair, and then continue with the prismarine. The next step is to put some top slabs of the prismarine bricks in the gap between the pillars and the wall, and then again make sure that we're leaving the corners and using the red nether brick to do that, and we'll carry this on for the rest of the level. And what we're also going to do on the way back is make sure that we put another level of half slabs on top of these, going on top of this wall. So I'll just complete that now. So now we're going to fill in the entranceway roof, and then we can carry on with the rest of the build. So what we'll want to do is, using the nether brick, come in, so we've got a block in the center, so we've got something to place against, and then we want to go with the stairs, the right way upstairs, and then we want to come along. So we'll place the nether brick along, because those are going to form the apex of the roof, and then again it gives us something easy to place against, and we keep these coming along until we get to the corner again where we meet these up, and again the corners, all with the red nether brick, and then the prismarine along the side until here. And what we're also going to do is go one further block with the prismarine stairs, and also two blocks with the nether brick, and then it'll look something like this. The next thing that we're going to do is actually complete the front part of the roof here. So what we're going to do, again, for the corners, always remember the red nether brick, and then actually on a level, so we've got bottom slabs coming out, we're going to be coming round here like so, and then just making sure that we fill in the corner slabs with the red nether brick. Next, we're going to add a layer of full blocks, followed by a layer of slabs, followed by a second layer of full blocks, and another layer of slabs inside, each one going up by half a slab. It's worth mentioning now that if you did want to change the size and shape of this, what you can do is take the modules in between each of the pillars and add extra ones of those to each of the sides. In terms of the roof, if you did take out an extra module, just come in a couple of extra blocks before you start raising the roof, which we'll be covering in a second. So now we've reached this point in the build, we're going to start building up the A-frame roof. And in order to do that, the first thing that we're going to do is place a red nether brick here, a red nether brick here on this side, and then in between, at the same line as the current slabs, we're going to place another line of slabs here. However, on these blocks, we're actually going to use the half slabs and come up and come the full distance here. So this part of the roof is getting higher, whilst the one in the middle is going to stay level, and that will give us the flat base for the A-frames themselves. So now that we've finished that out for the full, for both sides of the build, we're going to actually build up the A-frame roof now. And one thing that I have done is that this actually needs to be a full nether brick block, and what we're going to do is then go for a slab on each side. So nether brick block with a slab, and then next to that we're going to be placing a full block. So as you can still see, we've still got a half slab raised there. Then we've got to go for a bottom half slab on both sides, and at this point we come up here and we're going to place a stair. Now this is the first point that we're going to start pitching the roof at a slightly more sharp angle, and with this stair we're then going to place an upside down stair block on both sides, so we continue to go at the higher pitch, and then another stair block, and then in between we are going to go for a full block here and then a full block on top of that. So as you can see, that gives us the smooth lines up to the point that we're looking for, and we're going to then repeat that on the other side as well. So now we've built the second A-frame up, we're going to finish off the angle of this roof and then build down from that. So we're going to start by an upside down stair on the top block, then we're going to come inside and get our nether brick blocks and go to the bottom of these two blocks and just link them up between the two. We'll also add our other stair whilst we're here, and then what we're going to do is come to this, find the middle block, so you can line that up with your actual build here, knock out this block in the middle and put a slab in there, and knock out 3 further blocks each side. In the furthest one we're going to put a bottom stair, and then we're going to fill in the gap with some slabs. And what we're doing here is building up the shape of the roof itself. Now what we're going to do is come out here with 2 blocks, then we're going to have 2 slabs, and then we've got the curve coming down, and we're going to repeat that on the other side, 2 full blocks and then 2 slabs. As you can see, that gives you the arch and curve in the roof that you're looking for, and it means that you've got something then that you can build up to. So what we'll also do is add some full blocks underneath here so that we can build up the prismarine. So the next thing we're going to do is start filling in the prismarine blocks around the roof. So what we're going to firstly do is fill in the next level exactly the same with the prismarine half slabs. I'll do this on one side and then repeat on the other side. And then fill in with the full blocks the next level up, because these have exactly the same curve, so there's nothing fancy that we need to do. We just need to fill these blocks in. So now that we've matched that on the other side, we're going to start adding in some of the stairs. What we're going to do on this level is go across 6, and then up one level we're going to go across 3, and then we are going to go for the half slabs and fill that in, and we're then going to repeat that on all the 4 sides. Once all the 4 sides have been filled in, it's a relatively simple job to finish off the roof. So what we're going to do is come down a further half slab and first of all fill in these slabs at the back, and then at each of these sides we're going to make sure we get right in the corner and have one of these bendy stairs, and then finish it off on this side with the half slabs. And as you'll see, that matches the arc and means that this has also a smooth line coming up to it, and then we just repeat that on the other side. Once you've completed that on the other side as well, we're just going to put the very finishing touches to this roof, and with those finishing touches what we're going to do is we're going to place 2 of the red nether brick walls, one on the last step and one sticking out to give us the final touch, and then we're going to come inside and actually finish off the interior of this roof as well. So what we want to do is take these quartz here, come inside and place it against this block, and then come in one, and again the same on the other side, just using crouch to make sure that you don't fall. Then we're going to fill in some red concrete, and then we're going to, at the very top here, fill in some stairs, and at the bottom we're going to fill in some stairs. So we're going to go for stair, stair, stair in the middle, and then here we're going to go for the stairs which they curve around, and this one should then connect up as well. So that gives us an indentation. The final thing we're going to do is we're going to place 3 jungle trapdoors in the center to give the little window, and that finishes off the archway and finishes off the A-frame, and we're going to repeat that on the other side of the build. So we're getting to the end of the actual building part of this build before we start some of the decoration, and now we're going to start adding the upward flick at the end of this roof. So we do that by adding a half slab here and a half slab out on either side. Then we go down 1, 2, 1, 2, and then do the same on the other side. 1, 2, link those up in the middle and come out. And what we're going to do is also place a half slab on top, so we get 2 flick ups there on each side. Next we're going to do a similar thing with the corners, but we're going to make these go out a little bit further. So we're going to come up 1, and then we're going to go along 2 this way. So you've got 2, and then 3 here, and then the same on the other side. 2 out, and then 3 along, and then finally again the one that flicks up, and we're going to repeat that on each of the 4 corners. Once that's been completed on each of the 4 corners, then we're going to put the finishing touch to this roof, and what we're going to do is we're going to link this up. We're going to go down a block, and so we're placing a top slab for the bottom here, and we're going to link this up all the way round. So all of these are going to be half slabs coming right the way through and linking up on this side up until the point when you touch this up here. So it's going to look like this all the way round, and complete these 4 sides. Now that the roof's finished, we're going to continue by decorating this, and the way that we're going to do that first of all is by filling in all of the windows, the wooden windows. So in each of these gaps we're going to be placing some jungle trapdoors, and we're going to continue that all the way around. So once all of the windows have been put in, the next thing that we're going to do is start putting the trapdoors around these sea lanterns. This is quite time consuming, but it is a key part of the aesthetic of the build. So I'll just do a few here, and then if you could keep doing those around each and every one of these sea lanterns, every side should be covered up. So once those dark oak trapdoors have been placed around all the sides, next we have an optional touch. Now we're going to be placing some dark oak trapdoors here, again around each of the intersections, but what you can do is actually put in some sea lanterns to add some hidden lighting in the walls. It's unnecessary, but it's up to you if you choose to do that. Otherwise you can just simply place the trapdoors on the walls themselves to fill in these gaps. So now we've placed all of the rest of the trapdoors in, we're going to start with some dark oak buttons, and as you can see, all of these little touches are starting to add some depth and visual touches to the actual build itself. So what we're going to do is go around each of these pillars. Now we won't be able to go on this side of the pillars, which is fine because they won't be visible really from the outside, but if you go on the three sides here and continue this for each of the pillars. The other thing we're going to do with these buttons is go one in from each of these on all of the sides to bring them in here, and where you've got this two gap, it's your choice to either put one in each, or if you prefer just put one at the outer block, but we'll go around and continue to do that right the way around the build. Now that the dark oak has been completely put in, we've put the buttons in, that's the braces, the next thing we're going to be looking at is some of the lighting. So what we're going to do here is each and every one of these pillars, we're going to be placing a lantern next to it all the way around the build. So with the lanterns now all placed around the build, we're going to be placing lanterns in a couple more places. So we're going to be placing, for each of the corners that we have hanging down, we're going to be placing a lantern underneath. And then we're also going to be placing a lantern hanging here and a lantern hanging here for some of the lighting. And each of these full blocks on the corners will be placing a lantern as well. This is just to help light it up in the dark. This won't be completely mob proof, this structure. However, at least with these lanterns, it does help things out a bit. Now with those lanterns placed, we really are at the finishing touches now. So now we're going to take the red nether brick wall and extend this out from this point here along the ridge of the roof, just to make it stand out and give it that point. And we're going to place a lantern on the two ends, and then we're going to place a lantern in the middle. Now you can choose which side of this you go, but I choose there personally to give it that final look. You can also place lanterns on the corners for these walls, and if you wish to have them spaced around, depending on how much iron you've got as well, they do look like a fantastic touch. And the very last thing that we're going to do is add some banners. So we're going to take the banner, and if you don't know how to make these banners, please do check out the tutorial previously released on the channel on the essential 10 Japanese banners that you need. So we're going to place one of these designs on the front of the build. Then we're going to place one of these here and here with the black in the middle. And then just to light things up, we're going to place a couple of banners evenly spaced in this area, so we've got the lighting. The final banners that we're going to be placing are going to be on each of the sides. So you can choose which banners you want to place on the corners there, on the edges, one at the back. Let's go for a red one here, all in the center blocks. Now, if you've got doors that you've decided to put in here, then these will just mark the doorways themselves. And then let's go back to this one. And now what you have here is your finished build. So we've just switched back to the vanilla textures. As you can see, with the vanilla textures, all of the detail still shows through. It looks fantastic, as do the banner designs here. And there you've got your completed build. Just look around at it a little bit. If you would like me to do the interior for this as well, so so it does give you quite a big space in here that you can fill with whatever you wish. If you'd like to see an interior as well, please do make sure you leave a like and leave a comment down beneath, and I will work on a tutorial for that as well. Now with the shader pack on at my main realm, you can see how this fits into a Japanese island setting. I've done some more terraforming around there, and obviously I'll be covering some more of these builds in future tutorials. But if you do like this video, please do leave a like, leave a comment, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. With that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on BDCraft.